how hard and how violent the impact is on Evidence Makgopa, but I don't think the ref even need to worry there. Makgopa's bleeding. There was heavy impact from that elbow. That should have been a red card. There was no attempt to play the ball from Niakite.
Yeah.
For South Africa, 25 minutes on the clock. 25 minutes to redeem themselves. 25 minutes to put themselves back on level terms. 25 minutes to avoid the dread of the second game on a back foot. That's the stunning effect here as the ball is brought into the box area. Chance! And it's double the tally! Lasina Sinayoko! Times. And now the worried faces on the bench tell the entire story. They tried to play from the back, weren't confident enough to clear the ball away. Sinayoko showing some brilliant upper body strength and balance, just managing to shunt his way past the defender. The yellow card also coming into effect there. He could not get a little more aggressive. And Sinayoko, the man that plays in Auxerre, says
Penalty that was awarded to Bafana Bafana. Not so much for whether it was a penalty or not, but should there have been more punishment as well? Should there have been a red card that was also handed out to Niakite? Gentlemen, let's answer that question. Ball comes in, and we see there, Makgopa goes down. Referee doesn't actually see it.
Yeah, I think what deceived the referee or what made the decision not to be a red card is it was not like deliberate, like, you know, when you elbow somebody, he was looking at the ball and running and looking at the ball. Okay, the hand was outstretched a bit. So it's not that elbow, it's outstretched hand.
Coach, I hear you. And, I mean, if you look at Law 12, it does speak about the referee having some allowance in terms of how hard and how violent the impact is on Evidence Makgopa, but I don't think the ref even need to worry there. Makgopa's bleeding. There was heavy impact from that elbow. That should have been a red card. There was no attempt to play the ball from Niakite.
Yeah.
That, by what I understand the rules, Teko, to be, is penalty, red card.
Yeah, I don't think there was an attempt to play the ball because whether he was trying to block Makgopa or whether he elbowed Makgopa intentionally, there was no intention to play the ball. So therefore, it should have been a red card. But I doubt that the referee saw that because you could see also his angle was perfect, but I think he was looking more on the ball than anything that was happening inside the box.
Do you agree?
I agree, red card, penalty.
Really?
Yeah.
As simple as that, short and sweet?
Yes.
Should have been.
Yeah.
And again, we can tell our viewers around the continent, you know, we've had this conversation with top referees in the time that took place, and they said, yes, some of them were leaning towards they would have given the red card as well. Others, like Pitso, saying, well, maybe not enough. It was an elbow nyana, not full elbow.
Well, if you're saying it's a foul in the box, it's a penalty.
Sure.
But they've got those things of negligible and deliberate. So they have the ways to argue out. And me and you can sit here and say whatever we say. Okay, I want red card because I'm South African. I want the red card.
But it's gone now. And Percy Dow blazing it over the top of the bar. But you did say something important about Percy Dow when he did hit it over the top there. His character.
I mean, he's a strong character. He'll forever try again. He's not a player to make one mistake and then he puts his head down. He'll forever try. But I also believe that in this incident, he could have played the ball a little bit cross earlier to Makgopa. But I think it's one of those emotional things that because I missed the penalty, I want to also go back and try and score the goal and rectify that. But that was also another opportunity where possibly he could play Makgopa in for that tap in.
What's going wrong or what's going so right? What's being said in that Malian change room right now? It's not the Mali you'd promised in terms of how much dominance and strength they would bring to this game.
Yeah, I think, Thomas, the problem could be the central defensive pairing. Both of them have got yellow cards. And I think if Bafana up front, they're a bit more smarter, especially combination play with Percy and Themba Zwane, they could actually exploit the spaces there.
Ronwen Williams came up big for Bafana Bafana in the dying moments of the half to make sure that it went in at 0-0. And Coach, you called this a big save, not just a save, big.
No, it's a big save. We made a big mistake there. I mean, this is a big mistake we can do. We made a big mistake. Sianda made a big mistake. We have to be honest. He played well for the whole game, but that one, the save that Ronwen saved, is that's why it's still 0-0.
substitute? Anyone that, Deco, you'd like to see come in, maybe make a difference for Bafana very quickly?
Look, I think on the left-hand side with maybe Mayambela.
For South Africa, 25 minutes on the clock. 25 minutes to redeem themselves. 25 minutes to put themselves back on level terms. 25 minutes to avoid the dread of the second game on a back foot. That's the stunning effect here as the ball is brought in into the box area. Chance! And it's double the tally! Lassina Sinayoko blisters his way through the defense. Well, that first goal sucked the energy out of that defense. The second one neutralized.
Putting his body in there and just slot it home.
Well, how many times did we talk about the danger of playing from the back for South Africa? They got away with it so many times, and now the worried faces on the bench tell the entire story. They tried to play from the back, weren't confident enough to clear the ball away. Sinayoko showing some brilliant upper body strength and balance, just managing to shunt his way past the defender. The yellow card also coming into effect there. He could not get a little more aggressive. And Sinayoko, the man that plays in Auxerre, says thank you very much. Slots it into the back of the net, 2 to the good, and looking good for 3 points here.
Something remarkably different happened in that change room. Mali came out with a rejuvenated energy and so much more pressure on that Bafana defense.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, I think there's moments where Mali was trying to counter-press and we were able to bypass that pressing line. Therefore, it created enough space in our midfield to be more on the ball and be creative. Because I think in the first half, we played a beautiful game. I think we were more in control. I think we had more chances in terms of winning the game. I think maybe at halftime, I think with Mali, maybe what was said was we need to stop pressing individually. We need to actually maybe have that block in the midfield, because I think that's where the battle was going to be from the beginning of the game, and we won that battle in the first half. But it's just that in the second half, I think that something changed from Mali's side, and we were able to cope with that.
Traore and Sinayoko getting the 2 goals. They'll be hailed across the border, which is right there next to Korogo, where the game was played. Malians pouring in to support their side for this encounter. But coach, down here in the south, fingers are going to start being pointed. People want to know what to blame for this 2-0 defeat today. Where would you point a finger to in terms of the result?
I must be honest to you, Thomas. I haven't watched Bafana for a very long time, maybe 2.5 years, to see a full game of Bafana. Yes, highlights I always check and see. Okay, I have to be correct. I watched Bafana against Morocco in Morocco, and I was really impressed with the first half, to be honest, in Morocco. But to come back to that, I think our team is good. I think we have a good team. We're not the bad team in the tournament. Yeah, but it's always, if you are good, you must win, to be honest. You know, if you don't win, you can't justify what I'm saying, that we have a good team. But I'm looking at it differently. Tactical side, how we organized, and as Tico said, we are the better team in the first 45 minutes. Everything changed because Mali got the goal as early second half. Very early. We became emotional a little bit because we are human beings. Now, we change to play different, and then the second goal comes, and then we lose the tactical shape, tactical organization. Mali sits in, and then we have a player like Lepasa who's very quick, play on the break. But when Mali is sitting in, that's not the right player to can help us. He can play us on a break, like a Shalulile to play out, So, and Tembazwane is also not there, but we want to break the ice, the block. You must have players who can break the block if you want to block that. But we substitute, maybe because we substituted. I'm not blaming, but all I'm just saying that we have a very good team, and I think South Africa can improve, but we don't. To be honest, besides the penalty that Percy missed, Percy is the only one who looks like he can create a chance to score. I know people will say I'm talking for Percy and all that. Look at the runs he makes, the opportunities he created. Okay, he was a bit emotional. Should have crossed one of the balls, but he went to shoot because he wanted to rectify the mistake he did. But we have a good team, but in the final third, we don't bite as much as we should bite.
There you go. The coach unpacking it. But a bite missing from Bafana. Will they find it for the next encounter? Well, we'll have to wait and see as the tournament unfolds. Break time. After the break, we look back at all of the moments, the controversy. Should there have been a red card? We'll explain that in even more detail. The penalty miss and the 2 quality goals scored by the Malian Eagles right after this.